everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Jaipuriya Talks. Today, we are very privileged to have Dr. Vasudha Sharma, Professor and Director, Vidya Knowledge Park, Happiness Coach and Author with us. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. So, first of all, ma'am, can you share some of your experiences as a happiness coach and author? How did you get interested into this? And what has been your experience and what motivated you to pick up this topic?
Uh, Thank you, sir, for asking this question because I never thought that this will be coming ever. But then, since childhood, I was born in a happy family and a joint family. So we were 24 people, and I have seen how social gatherings and connect with human beings, like each family of friends, because when you have a bigger family, you have a larger social circle. Their friends are your friends are their friends. So that always brought happiness. When I say happiness in very layman terms, but then later when I started studying psychology, I have been a student of psychology. I have done my doctorate in psychology itself, and I have done my leadership program from London Business School. So then I got to know that how things were connected. So as we say, connecting the dots, happiness is directly connected to your mood, your fatigue, your stress, your motivations, and everything else, how you behave with people. So, and it is said that what you have, that is all you can share. So if I have 10 rupee note, I can share 10 rupees. If I have 100, if I have 100, I'll share 100. If I have intentions to, right? So you have to have intentions also. So if you are happy, you'll share happiness. If you are not, you'll not. But then one more thing I realized while being on this journey of coach, that happiness is a habit. So there are some people who are born with it, and there are some people who will not be able to cope up with that. It's a pattern, basically. And childhood is the major role player in it. So kind of upbringing you got, the kind of atmosphere you got in your early years. I mean, like starting from 4 till you're 14. So it impacts directly throughout your life of your happiness index, I suppose. That is it. And I feel thankful to God that maybe I have been chosen for this. So that's it.
So you have rightly said that upbringing plays a very major part in happiness. And some of us are very fortunate to have that kind of upbringing. So taking a leaf out of this conversation itself, when you were a student and now when you look at academics, teachers and schools also play a very important part in our upbringing.
Yes,
So what kind of lacuna you feel, what kind of shortcomings you feel there is, why today the teenagers, especially the young adults, they are not happy and they are feeling lonely.
Yeah, maybe they are not, I'll not say not happy, but maybe they're confused, or the happiness is found in certain different things rather than the kind of happiness earlier we had in our days. I completely agree to you that schools or maybe academics or the not specifically syllabus, but the teachers and the atmosphere, maybe the people we meet in the school, the kind of atmosphere is there in schools and colleges, does play a very crucial role in a child's life, because almost 8 hours a day, specifically, a child would give to school and will be meeting, say, for if not more, but then at least 10 different people, 6, 7 teachers and other, fellow students in the class. So I think it has a very deeper impact on students and the kind of atmosphere they come from, because every day they're coming from the family mostly, or those who are into boardings also. They have that, how they have lived the last evening on their head or maybe in their minds, and then they come back with the same feeling. But then schools and colleges are the places where I feel, if the atmosphere is a little, I would say lenient, but then very harmonious and holistic, it plays a very positive role I'll not say only specifically happiness, but on the holistic growth of the or development of the student. So it plays. Teachers have been very crucial part of life of everybody. Maybe yours also, mine also.
Yes.
So they were strict. They had all the rights to scold me and tell me to stand in the corner, or maybe I was punished as well at certain areas wherever they found that I was not working as I should do. So maybe wherever I have gone wrong, my teachers have corrected me, or my parents have accepted that they could do that. So I think the gap which is coming is I don't know, but then being very brutally true now when I am in academics and past 5 years, I've seen this drastic, drastic gap between parents and teachers, and between teachers and students also. So this is my 24th year I've been into academics. I have been in thoroughly into teaching and facilitating. I am into training also. But then the kind of connect I used to have earlier, I say in 2000 or 2002 or 2000 till 2012 also. Slowly and gradually that connect has taken a gap or a vacuum. I don't know why. I seriously have no idea. I'll not say no idea, but then I think maybe uh, we can't blame anybody. I won't do that. But the systems have changed. The syllabuses are sticking only to the books, and the how do we say, the cold cycle experiential learning has rather than stretching, it has squeezed, and the rights that the teacher had on a child or a student has been snatched. I think I'll not say taken away, they have been snatched. So you cannot so when you do not find the complete right on the student, I think it's more of a step 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 teacher leap
Yes.
parenting or something like that.
So you have rightly pointed out the rights of the teachers. On the one hand, it's my opinion only. On the one hand, parents expect these students to score 98, 99%. Nothing below 95% is acceptable nowadays. Then on the other hand, you cannot scold the student. You cannot forget about beating the student or anything. You cannot even scold. You cannot even give them C minus in their grades and everything. So, do you think society in general is also confused in a way that what do they expect and what do they expect from the teachers as well as the students?
Agreed, sir. Not only confused, but we are more towards a fantasy world where basic manners, etiquettes, societal boundaries, respect, or maybe the way you behave with others, and how I say that, this Sanskrit term sanskar, the morals or the moral values are kept aside. And then I think nuclear families and joint families, I'm not again um, commenting or judging, but then they also play a very important and crucial role, because earlier there were many people in the family, or maybe at least more than 4, 5. So there were 4, 5 checks. Now there are only parents or maybe single parent, and then both are working. Child's emotional balance and emotional development, it does not has a very strong base, and that base earlier used to come from school as well as family. Families have do not have time, or maybe more of the time is given to digital gadgets, or maybe completing what they are looking forward for, because nowadays we either have 1 or 2 kids only. So earlier there were more number of kids, more number of people in the family. And when you say rights of teachers, yes, obviously when you do not give me any authority, how would you expect me to, bring about a change? Because not doing anything, putting the child into the jar, and from outside, if I want to make changes in whatever temperature is happening inside, that is, I'll not say impossible, but next to impossible. So that connect is missing. That is what I was saying. Past 5, 6 years, I've seen in schools also, the connection is lost. I don't know, it is because of the commercialization of the education, which is not new. I think it has been happening since long. But then maybe this is high time we. I am happy that you are taking this, I mean, up. But it
Yes.
is a very serious concern. I see in my family also the smaller kids, rather lesser than 5 years of age, they eat with the mobile phone. Some poem or something is happening. These fantasy characters make them happy, but they cannot talk to the peer. They are not going outside the house. Safety measures are to be taken care of. Parents are not free. Grandparents again, they keep if they have two kids, their time is divided because families are I don't say broken, but then distributed. And schools are more of a, I don't know, it is again a fancy word because they are doing more of scrapbook work, presentations, but group discussions and the connection with the mentor, I think, is missing or is very superficial. That's what I feel.
So you have rightly said that the connections have become superficial, and today a person can have 5,000 connections on LinkedIn or 2,000 friends on Facebook. So, and this is also a debate that should we allow kids to have mobile phones and should they be allowed to be on the social media? To what extent do you think this is also hampering the real happiness of young adults?
I feel that not only one variable would ever be completely responsible for anything, but yes, it impacts a lot. I have a son who's 17 years old. He's in class 12. He's preparing for his medical. So he has a phone, but then it is something like this. So and he doesn't have a Facebook account or Insta or anything social media. So that is what I asked him only till he's selected. That one thing I require is do not get into social media. But then at times I feel when I see other children who are able to make memes or something, I at times very bleakly I feel, is it something that I just kept him away from? Is it right or wrong? Because I am trying to control his life. But then again I get back to myself and I say I'm doing the right thing because as in bow and arrow, when we say, so the bow has that string. The tighter it is, the bow, and you have good focus, uh, the bow will go the longer and at the right place. So I think we need to check and we need to be emotionally strict as well as strengthening to the kids that their emotional um impact and index is strong. That is what I'm finding. 2 days back only, I met with a parent whom one of the faculty, I think, failed in the assignment of project, and they came and they had a concern. They were not very happy with the faculty because she did not pass her, and they were like, it is humiliating. So I was like, but then if the child has not done anything, we are there to correct and improve their performance. So they said, but then what if she commits suicide? I was like, assignment is not such a big issue in life. They need to face real issues in life. How will she face that? And then they said that you have to be softer to the students, like regarding the teacher. I said, but then she checked the assignment. It was not up to the mark. She failed the student. And then this is where we are standing. We want to improve the kids. So I feel the parents are also very I don't know, they're skeptical. They're full of fear because they have one or two kids and they have this protective sheet around them. I don't know how are they going to manage in life, these students as well as their parents, because once they are into the real life situation, I don't know how will they manage. So happiness is one thing, another is emotional balance. If very small things are impacting and affecting them too much, I don't know what is the right way. I feel parents are to be counseled first and then the kids. Because students are okay still. But then I don't know. We have very fragile parents these days. I don't know.
Yes,
That is
you have
how.
rightly said that parents are becoming overprotective also in that sense. And they might be thinking that they are giving all the leisure and comfort and happiness to their kids, but they are not preparing their kids for the future ahead. Right. So, if you can give some advice, if you think that all the parents of the world are listening to you, what are the two, three things you will ask them to do?
I just wish it is not an advice but an input, as far as I see people around me, and um, I have met parents, or whenever in counseling the students come or the kids come, or the parents are also there. So what I feel, there are three, if you say only three things, one is that, trust your kid and spend time with them and give them, since childhood, give them that freedom of, they should have this freedom and trust that for anything and everything they can come to you and share it with you. And always make it a point, what is right and wrong, but rights and wrongs are very subjective. But at the same time, uh, the kids must know that till a particular age, the control is with them and they know our good. No parent would be telling them anything wrong. And in case you find that something is fishy, intervene. At the same time, help them. And if you find that they require any external help, that is also acceptable. This should be acceptable and should be explored, I think. And third thing is that it's important for the parents also to be happy, so that they can pass it on to the kids. So there should be a happy environment, a sorted environment. There should be good music or maybe good food and outings, as well as studies and everything. And the way you behave, it is a social learning completely. So Bandura, if we see,
Yes.
so it's like kids learn from whatever they are watching. So most of the time they're watching us only as parents. So we have to be very mindful, and we need to tell them that becoming a good human is more important than scoring marks. And we should not compare our kids with others. Not
Others.
all the time. Not all the time. So that's it.
Definitely. Teachers also face a similar kind of dilemma. They, on the one hand, might have the school administration asking them to make the kids score more and more and more. On the other hand, the rights have been taken from them. And then the PTM meeting, as the parents also dread the PTM meeting, teachers also dread the PTM meeting because what the parents would say. In such a scenario, what inputs would you like to give to teachers so that they can create a happy environment in their classrooms?
As I said earlier, also, there should be some sessions for parents also. It's not that parents are, as we were discussing, parents are overprotective. At the same time, there is a positive side to it also, because they are more focused towards their parents, sorry, towards their kids. And now, as either they have one or two kids, so they are focused since the beginning. I have seen parents coming for sports sessions of kids throughout. I mean, or maybe some other activity that a child is into. So I have seen this growth also in parents. So not only that they are protective, but even if they are protective, they are also focused. So I think there should be some sessions every month or maybe every second month before parent teacher meeting or after parent teacher meeting. That this is a common thing that has been observed. The the point of concerns should be shared with all the parents. We should, and that can be shared generally rather than being specific with student, like without naming that this particular student is doing that. And then inputs of parents can also be taken, and collaboratively we can create a better environment in school. It should be a parent teacher association to take up students towards a better balance of emotions and happiness. That's how I feel.
So you you obviously you know that new education policy is coming, NEP is coming, right? And we have this coaching culture also, and the highly competitive exams also. So, from the policy and the society's perspective, how do you see that we expect every single child to become a doctor or an engineer? And the
That's
kind
not
of
possible.
pressure the kind of pressure we put on these young minds. So do you think we are making maybe a good professionals, but they might not be that happy when they will be living an adult life and they will be mentally healthy also? So what do you think we should do as a society to create happiness in the young kids?
It will take years and years. I don't know from the era I come, or maybe you belong
Yes,
to.
yes,
Only doctors and engineers have been respected. Not that
yes,
the teachers were not, but then
yes,
for males, if the males actually wanted to become a teacher and they have taken up teaching, it was like कुछ और नहीं मिला होगा इसलिए teaching कर रहे हैं. For
yes.
females, it is like it is the safest place to go, and
Mm,
the timings are lesser and you get more holidays. So the mindset is to be changed, which is
mm,
changing gradually. Also, I think CBSE at school level only should take up some steps about like I'm happy with the NEP thing that there are more subjects, but then there have to be classes from class fourth or fifth only. What are the options? Ample options are there. If you go for humanities, there is too much that you can do.
mm,
Environmental things are there, or maybe
mm,
there are. If we talk about even it's medical only, or maybe there are medical courses, there are paramedical courses, and when we talk about science, there is AI, machine learning. There is too much to do. Commerce, if we talk about, I mean, I don't think so. There is even single subject where we do not have opportunities. But how do we create awareness of those opportunities, and how do we do the capacity building in the students? So this skill development forum, I think it should be inculcated. New education policy is coming up for that, and it should be. I'm very happy. But how successful will it be in India in coming 10 years? I am not sure, because it will take time. The mindset, it takes time in breaking the mindsets and coming up with new mindsets. So I think it will take time, but we are on the right track.
yes, yes, absolutely. Suppose a young kid who is 12, 13 years old is listening to this. What, and he or she is already confused. There is already social media and social media influencers. There is parental pressure. There is peer pressure. And now teachers are also discussing happiness. And he just wants to, or she just wants to go out and play with the friends. So, what inputs or what suggestions would you like to give to that young kid? How can one find or define happiness at such a tender age?
Happiness is very subjective again. I don't know. There are people who would find happiness if they have money in their pocket.
Mm,
There are kids who find happiness in, drenching in rain.
mm,
So, or maybe if even they can watch one cartoon, they feel happy, or they get one pizza, they feel happy. So,
yes.
happiness is basically, I think, what you wanted. If you get it, you feel happy,
Mm,
but not at every age. So,
mm,
if my age or your age, maybe we would have planned for a car or a flat or a house. When you get it, I don't know if I don't think I recently I bought a house, and I was concerned about this fact that why am I not feeling happy?
mm.
So, so the kind of happy, I was not that
Yes.
happy. I was like
Yeah.
satisfied that
Uh,
okay, another
uh,
milestone done. But
mm,
then happiness still comes when I am cooking.
mm,
So when you do what you want to do, and it
mm,
is happening the way you want to do with the people you want to be, I
mm,
think you feel happy. Everybody's happiness is different, and
mm,
you have to find your own happiness. So my happiness can be sitting with the family watching TV. Somebody else's happiness would be waking up early, going to the club, or maybe playing cricket, or
mm,
doing gym, or going for swimming, eating,
mm,
cycling, anything. But whatever one has to find out what makes you happy, not only excited. So excitement is different from happiness. What makes you happy, and when you go back home or when you go back to your bed, you feel satisfied that aha, aaj maza aa gaya.
mm,
So and it should not impact your health, either
mm,
mental or physical, and should be into societal boundaries also. So there are people who, when I'm saying this, it's not that किसी की पिटाई करके मजा आ रहा है.
Yes, yes.
So, matlab, when you do not harm anyone else while you are being happy is happiness.
Mhm.
That is also important.
Do you, from this answer, I am asking this question. Do you feel, because I am in a college, in a PGDM college, and when I ask this question, what are your hobbies? What is your passion? Generally, nowadays, students are not able to answer this question. Do you feel this is also related to, as you have said, that there must be something which will give you happiness? And nowadays, people, because they are so busy on social media and everything, they are not having any passion project or hobby. Do you feel, and how can we correct this if that is there?
I agree completely. I don't know if there is any corrective measure for it because I have seen the elder generation, matlab the generation who is elder to me,
Mhm.
my parents or uncles and aunts, or maybe the neighborhood. They are also busy with the digital world.
Mm.
They are happy doing that. They feel excited when they see the pictures on Facebook and they will tell. So I think at times I feel it's a good thing. They are not feeling alone. But at the same time, for the age group which is younger, has too much to do for themselves as well as when I talk about country and society, it becomes so fantasizing because they are not capable. I'll not say not capable. They do not put in their capabilities and effort even for doing things for themselves only.
Mm.
And it starts from rising up early and or not sleeping late.
Mm.
So the timings have changed. The measures of happiness has also changed for young generation. I was the other day there was a discussion and I was into that panel that nowadays parties are boozing.
Mm.
So the measures have changed. The society has gradually accepted it also. So even the parents have accepted. And I don't know how would it change, but then it requires change. But I'm not looking for it in near future because it requires staunch, hampering of academicians and parents both and family. So and societal pressure is there. So how many likes have come? They put one status and then every 2 minutes they are checking kisne dekha, kisne
Mm.
bola.
Mm.
So I think kids have become self-centered. They find it tough to talk to people when they are sitting in front. And then even if in the same room people are sitting, the family members or friends also, after every 2 minutes you can see everybody is checking their phone. So that means this is something, this has become a I don't know, the cognition that they have that FOMO things happen, fear of missing out.
Yes.
Somebody's, yeah, so that's happening. And it's a critical point when we are discussing it, and I don't know if we'll be all together coming up and we'll be able to put it to any solution.
Should schools and colleges start a mandatory hobby class?
I so wish, and we started also, we have sports classes and then we have yoga classes. But then unfortunate it is for personality development classes also, communication classes are there, aptitude classes are there. And for sports, there is a complete sports arena in our college. So there is swimming, there is lawn tennis, there is table tennis, there is cricket ground, football. But I have seen students not like coming to the college, laying down in the grounds, literally laying, not doing anything and talking. So I
Mm.
think leisure has become the hobby. That waking up late, being chilled out and not doing anything is what the hobbies, and that is how they define their happiness. That I'm happy because nobody is telling me to wake up early, nobody is telling me to eat or drink at these times, I am not bound to listen to anybody. That's how their happiness has taken place. Or they can go out and they can come back home late or whatever, I don't know. That is how when I talk to the youth, and these are some of the, I'm not saying it without data. I'm saying I have the data for it. So they feel happy कि कोई कुछ बोल नहीं रहा है. So they are the they are steering their own life. I think that has always been that happiness has been steering your own life. But then how do you steer? Does it have a direction is also important. So not having a direction is a happy thing these days. And maybe mm, the in thing.
Hmm. Okay.
That is how they say.
So the in thing is Netflix and chill,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Doing
chill.
nothing, doing nothing and just chill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how can parents and teachers, like as a society, can we do some kind of policy or some kind of movement to change this perception of that doing nothing is actually chilling?
I so wish that government comes up with some policy
Hmm.
where it should be mandatory if you want your child to study in a particular school or a college, these many hours in a month, you have to contribute. And that will start from good institutions, I think, because people who want to send their kids to IITs and IIMs and NITs or maybe NID, so their parents should be there should be a mandate that at least 2 hours a month it is important for you to go to the school or a college or the institute your child is and discuss not only about your child but also about others is. It can happen. I can be helpful for somebody else, if not specifically for my child. So it has to be a collective thing, and I just wish that something like that comes, because I don't think so people would volunteer. There will be very bleak number of people who would volunteer, and then later it will just fizz out. So if there is a strict mandate, I think something can be done, and people are doing in this direction. There are NGOs who are working forward for that. There are cells in the colleges where people are working. But then I don't know how successful they are. But then, as it is said in the one of the stories of starfish, even if I make difference in one life, I'm making a difference. So it's like that.
Absolutely, ma'am. So even if one person watches this video and gets some insights about happiness and how can be inculcated through parents, through teachers, through schools, policies, and students, I think our task is done. So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your ideas.